But I'm going to have Curt said he has some really good kind of just discovery call training that he wanted to kind of go over with you guys, just some tips, some tricks on how to do a discovery call when they come through, whether that's through my leads that you receive, or if you're just calling your own leads or calling these leads back. Just a great discovery call, and some tips and tricks that he wanted to kind of explain. I'm sure Anthony can kind of give some of his insights as well on kind of his experience on doing some discovery calls. But Curt, I'll kind of give it over to you if you want to take the reins. Do you want me to give you a host? Do you need to share your screen?
No, I don't need to share my screen. Okay. It's going to be all verbal. Okay. But yeah, I appreciate you guys jumping on. Anthony, I didn't know you was going to be on, so definitely I would love to hear, how you take these calls as well. But I just try to keep it simple. I just kind of had to teach myself, how to handle these calls. Like some of the stuff that we're talking about in the beginning of the call, I'm like, man, if I would have knew some of those things, I probably wouldn't have let some of them slip through. For example, if you miss a call, text them right away. Like I do all of those things now. And to Bo's point, it really does help tremendously. So basically, this is kind of a little bit of my script. I just kind of wrote it down, even though I pretty much freestyle it when I'm on the phone. But this is the gist and the process of pretty much the sequence of what I say and pretty much how I follow it. So obviously the transfer comes in and they're like, hey, this is XYZ. I have such and such on the phone, and he wants to know more about going solar. Brian, this is Curt. And then immediately I come on and I'm like, hey, Brian, my name is Curt, as the rep stated. And I'm a solar consultant here with Powur. I'm not going to take very much of your time. My job is simply to ask you a few questions to see if solar is a good fit for your home. Now, before I get started, do you have any questions or concerns as it relates to solar? And so I just give them an opportunity to just kind of ask me whatever's on their mind right in the beginning. And probably what I hear the most is, yeah, how much does it cost? And so my answer to that, in case you guys get that, if you follow this sequence, is I say, well, I can tell you this, it's about a third of what you're giving to the utility right now. And it's almost always less than what your average bill is. And obviously, depending on what other additional equipment that you might decide to add to that, sometimes it can go up a few dollars, and I leave it there and then I proceed forward. And if they don't have any more questions, most times they don't, then my sequence of questions is, number one, do you pay over $80 for electricity? Most people do. So they're going to say yes. I say, okay, great. And then the next thing I say is, how old is your roof? And they tell me how old it is. Now, if they tell you their roof is like almost 20 years old or whatever, I just keep proceeding forward, and I'll address that later as far as, us possibly assisting them with getting a new roof. So if they tell me something like that, I'll kind of pause and say, oh, wow, were you guys planning on, getting a new roof, or, what were you thinking about it? If they're like, I hadn't even thought about it really, would that be a problem? And I just kind of say, no, not really. We can actually help you with that. And then I move on. So the next question I ask is your home surrounded that provide a lot of shading to your roof? And I had to position that question that way because I used to just say, do you have a lot of trees, or do you have trees around your house? And people are like, no. And then I pull it up on Google and they're sitting in a forest. And I'm just like, I thought you said you don't have a lot of trees. Well, I mean, not more than my neighbor, so they'll kind of compare themselves to somebody else. But either way, a lot of times I will pull it up and they will qualify. So if they say, no, I don't have a lot of trees like that, or they're not close to the house or whatever. And again, that's just kind of a qualifying question. You're going to look the house up on Google anyway. And then after that, my last question is, okay, great. Are you currently working, or are you retired? And if they tell me they're retired, my next question is, do you pay any federal tax out of your So they say that they're working, and I just move forward.
Hey, Curt, you cut out.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this. I'm cutting out.
You cut out for a second. Yeah. Repeat yourself right at
okay.
If they're retired.
Okay. So basically, I ask them, are they working or are they retired? If they tell me they're retired, I'll ask them, or are you paying any federal taxes out of your retirement? Most people say no, but every now and then you're going to find someone that goes, yeah, I actually do pay taxes. If they say that they're working, then I just pretty much proceed forward. And pretty much I say, sounds like you qualify. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the solar programs currently being offered in your area. And then the very next question I ask them is, did you guys know that the federal government is helping to subsidize these programs through a federal solar tax credit, where the average homeowner is receiving between $7,000 and $15,000? And then most people say, no, I didn't know that. And I say, okay, great. Part of my job is to see how much of that money that you're going to get back. And more importantly, obviously, we're going to see, since now it looks like your home qualifies, we're going to see how many solar panels that your home is actually going to need, because obviously home and their energy consumption needs. Some homes might need 15 to 20 panels. Some homes might need more than that. And I say the only way that I'm going to know how many solar panels you're going to need, how much money you're going to get back from the federal government, how much money you're going to save when you go solar, is we just need a copy of your electric bill. And I said, as soon as you get me that copy of your electric bill, I'm going to send that up to our engineers. We're going to put together a proposal, and I'll have all of that information for you, cost, the whole 9 yards. And then I'll say, I'll hold on if you want to grab your bill really quick. And then I'll pause and give them the opportunity to go grab the bill. If they're like, oh no, I actually get my bill line, then I'll say, okay, great. Can you pull up your computer right now? Because, we got to create this emergency, because like Bo said, once they hang up, they're pretty much done. I kind of dropped that seed about the money at the end, that they're going to get money that's going to help them with their solar system costs. And so if they do pull it up online, then I just have them email it to me. If they say, well, oh no, you kind of caught me at a bad time, I just wanted to see what this was about, but I can get that bill to you, then I'll just tell them, I'll say, well, hey, when can you get it to me? Because soon I'll have your proposal back within an hour, typically, depending on the volume of how many that they're putting together. And then what I want to do is I want to set an appointment so that you and I can go over this proposal tomorrow. And then sometimes they say stuff like, well, when you get the proposal, can you just mail it to me and I'll look it over and I'll call you back if I'm interested? And then I always kind of chuckle and I'll say, I would love to do that, because that would make my job so much easier. I'll say, but that's kind of like giving you a haircut over the phone. It's next to impossible. And then they'll say, well, what do you mean? And I'll say, well, the way our proposals are designed, it's a lot of details about equipment and different things up there that I'm going to need to go over. And it's kind of like sending a blueprint and you don't know how to read them. Even though it's the blueprint of your house, still might be lost. And so I kind of use that analogy, and I just basically say, so that's why I need to go over it with you. And then I just reassure them it's not going to take long. I say typically it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to go over the proposal. It can go longer if you have questions. And I always leave it on them if you have questions, because obviously if you going over the proposal takes longer, and they happen to go, hey, you told me this wasn't going to take long, I can always say, well, you've been asking me questions. If you remember, I did tell you that if you have questions, it can take longer. So I go ahead and I set the appointment up, and I'll say, well, what's a good time for you tomorrow so that we can go over this proposal? I'm pretty booked up. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fit you in since it doesn't take long. Once again, reassuring them that it's not going to take long and that I'm also busy and my time is valuable. And they'll say, well, I work 9 to 5, and I'll say, let me take a look. And I'll just stop them right there. And I'll say, oh, looks like I could probably squeeze you in around 6. Would you be home and settled by 6? And if he said yes, I'll say, great. I'll say, are you familiar with Zoom? If he said, yeah, I'm familiar with Zoom, I'm like, great. I'm going to send you a link. And as soon as I get your bill, we'll put together that proposal, and I'll be able to tell you how much money you're going to get back from the federal government. So the last thing I leave them with is that they're going to be getting money back from the federal government, and I can't tell them how much that's going to be until they send me that bill. And so again, if I can't get it while we're on the phone, then I'll just hang up and allow them to send it to me. And I just try to get a commitment. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be waiting for your bill. Can I expect that within the next hour, 30 minutes? And I try to get them to commit. And then if they say, yeah, I'll get it to you within the hour, I'm just kind of out right now, whatever, I'm headed home soon, I'll say, okay, great. I'll be waiting for your bill so that we can go ahead and get started on that. And that's pretty much a gist of how I handle the calls when they come in. And then I pretty much wrap it up from there.
Well said.
Any questions about anything?
I love it.
That's the way I'm doing that now. Yeah, I love it.
What you say, Jeremy?
I said that's what I'm doing now. I mean, usually if I can get them on the phone, I'm real short, sweet. If I can get the bill, like I think I've gotten, I don't know, 10 or 12, somewhere in there leads, or maybe close to 13 now. And I've only all of them, or maybe close to 15 now, but only 3 of them I haven't gotten a bill for. I can't get a hold. They come in as leads, but I can't get a hold of them to get the bill. But the rest of them, I've got the bills, and now it's just hard to get a hold of them. That's all right. I got the bill and get the proposal ready, and then it's like, where you at now? Getting them back on the phone.
Yep. And are you saying that you're setting an appointment up the same day that you're talking to them to follow up?
I'm trying to, yeah. So as soon as I get the bill, I'm trying to set the appointment up with them. They're like, yeah. Some of them, I get the bill and they're not sure about time. Well, just let me.
No, I'm saying not soon as you get the bill. I'm saying on the phone call when the transfer come in, are you setting the follow-up appointment on that call? Or are you literally
No, if I can get them well, these are all leads like I've done off Google, nothing with Bose yet. I'm hoping. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure. It's a process, getting, a lot of times I'm at work, but I'm doing solar at work, So I'm trying.
So when you talk to them on the phone,
get busted.
Getting that utility bill, are you setting up a follow appointment on that call?
Sometimes yes, sometimes they won't give me a time. I get the bill and there's like, okay, well, as soon as you get the proposal, call me back. So it's kind of this iffy. Some of them it's a done deal.
Now set up an appointment, dude. Give them 2 options.
Yeah. Don't even let
Give them 2 options right there. Hey, I got Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 3. Give them 2 options.
I think my biggest thing. Yeah, I think my biggest thing right now is setting a time. Well, if I set a time, is my mentor going to have the same time available also as as I'm scheduling? That's kind of been my.
So what I would do.
I want to make sure.
If not, you got tons of mentors out there. You got
right.
Yeah, I was saying it doesn't have to be me.
Yeah.
You got so many mentors out there.
It could be Dana, it could be Terry, it could be Curt, it could be.
Get the appointment book, man. That's the most important.
Just set it and be done with it.
Yeah.
And then
don't overthink it
on the group.
Yeah.
I'll post on the group, but okay, obviously I think we're going to use mentors on this group, right? First.
Yeah. So, what you can always do is even have, whether it's on your phone, if you're out at your job, or if you're at home, have Curt's or Anthony's Calendly pulled up. And you could just while you're on the phone with them, pull it up, say, hey, let me check the time. You can pull up their calendar because their calendar should be linked to what they have scheduled already. You could actually see what they have available. Oh, so you're acting like it's your schedule, but you're actually using their calendar, right? Give me a second. Let me pull up as tomorrow or Wednesday better for you. Perfect. Okay, look at their times. And you can schedule it based on what they have available.
Yeah. So far, Anthony and I, we've got them on the phone, but some of them just ghosted,
Yeah.
But one was like texting me all weekend, like buying questions, and like we haven't heard from him in like a week and a half, maybe. Like he's just completely ghosted us. It happens.
It happens.
But no, I agree with that. Something like I'm sure most of you know Larry Reed. He's 87. He's a talker, but he keeps overthinking it. Like, hey, if I get an appointment, are you or Dana or any of these other guys gonna be available? I'm like, dude, if you have an appointment, we're dropping everything. If I can't do it, Curt can't do it, Dana can't do it, Terry can't. We're dipping into Brunos's. I have a list of all of Brunos's mentors. We can dip into their list. Me and Bo made a list of all of them. We can dip and we can make sure that it's covered. So don't let that If a customer, you know, if you nail a customer down for 10 a.m. East Coast time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll make sure that someone covers that appointment for you. It doesn't have to be just me or Curt.
Yeah, you guys got to remember. You guys got to remember. Most of us, especially the mentors, we're full time. So, you know, even if you're working and you're like, well, I'm working and I'm not available until 6, you know, we can probably make it. Just go ahead and set it, and we'll get it worked out.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, that's like I got Anthony. I needed a Spanish speaking guy today, so I texted Anthony, and I got Armando, and Armando just last minute, within 15 minutes of the meeting, came on and said, "Yeah, I'll help you out." You know, so I mean, it was a last minute thing. So even if you got to do that, you know, do what you got to do, Jeremy.
Okay. I mean, that's you know, I'm always worried. I guess I should have asked that question before, or whatever, you know, on that aspect on what to do. And I mean, like, I'm reaching. Don't get me wrong. I've reached out. You know, I told the Bo about it. That guy that we kind of clashed on a neighborhood app here in around our area. So instead of trying to compete, he's actually a mentor. So I said, hey, instead of trying to compete against each other, let's just work together. And we actually did a presentation today while I was driving to Austin, and we were doing a presentation with somebody. So nice. I mean, I do what I'm trying to do what I can to whatever I have to do to get there. You know.
Well, it's like one of those guys under witness protection right now. Like they're changing his voice and he's all blacked out right now, so you can see his face.
Me? Yeah, I look like that.
Yeah, because you're all blacked out.
You can't see your face, man. You have no light.
Don't move. I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you right now.
That is too funny.
It is funny.
That is true, though.
I'm on the down low.
I got Curtis. I don't have a question, but I got a comment on a couple things.
Yeah.
Number one, I've gone back and really trying to work on my discovery call process, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And one thing I've learned is it's called to talk to the customer first, not just bull right into solar. You know, talk to the customer, get to know them. And the synonym they used for me is a synonym they used for me was form: family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. Talk to them about something personal first. You know, kind of get the
connection.
Yeah, kind of make that connection. You know, it doesn't have to be solar right now, and then move in. And since I've done that, I've just, it feels like a big thing off my shoulders, you know. Then when you start talking to the person about the stuff that you're talking about, it seems for me to go a lot better, you know. So
no, I think that's excellent. I'm actually familiar with Form, and they also have another one called Fort. And I do that in the home. And I do that on the appointment. When I do the follow-up, it's totally different. I slow it down. I'm joking. I'm asking them, how was your day? You know, all of this stuff. The only reason I do that on the transfers, because I tried to do that when I first started getting these transfers. And I had a few people going, hey, I don't have a lot of time. How long is this going to take? Because some of the people, you got to remember, none of them know that they're going to be transferred.
Yeah.
You know, they get qualified. And then at the end, they're like, okay, if you got a few minutes, I can actually get a consultant on the line. Yeah. And so in their mind, they're already thinking, sometimes they might have even said it. And if you go back and listen to the recording, they'll say to them, we don't hear this part. Okay, you can go ahead and transfer me, but I don't have a lot of time. So I hope it's not going to take long. And then they'll say stuff like, oh, it's not going to take long. So that's the main reason that I go straight in when it comes to the transfers. But if this was just like a follow-up lead or something like that, I'm just calling, just trying to, warm up to them, I probably would do more of that. But because it's a transfer and I've just had so many kind of stop me in my tracks when I try to just, get too familiar, say, well, how long is this going to take? Because I'm about to go in Walmart. Because sometimes people are looking, or they stumble across the advertisement on their phone, and they're just out and about, and they just decide, go ahead and put them on. Let me see, what he's going to say, or if he's going to give me the information I need before I go into this store or something. So that's the only reason I don't do that. But I do believe that what you said is great, and I think we all should use that. If you're not using it, I definitely use it on the appointments when I do the follow-up for sure.
The other thing, just like you said, I always try to tell them structure, what's going to happen. Hey, once you start, hey, like you said, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and then, you know, going to get your bill, going to do this, you know, go just give them the structure so they know what's coming.
Correct. Correct.
And then the other thing, when I'm ending, I like to give them our goals, my goal, you know, tell them what our goals is, what we're doing for them, you know, because I'm more personable, you know, what I'm going to do for you that's going to set me apart from, like Anthony said, the 10 other bids that are going to be out there. You know, so I'm telling them my goal. So my goal is to save you as much money as I possibly can, and for you to become a lifelong customer with me, because I want you to become a lifelong customer, because to do that, you're going to send me referrals, and I'm going to help you out with our referral program, you know, something along that line. So, and that's what I've been pitching lately. And then you want to end, and then I found out that you want to end it with them. You want to get them, it's, you know, always be selling, always be closing. So you want to get them to start saying yes right now, you know. So, hey, if I do this and I get you all this, you know, would you be, you know, would you still, how did it say it? It's, where's my notes here? Sorry, I had it, but
would you?
My goals. Okay, I'll see you at the meeting. My goal is to save as much money as possible. If it looks good and we go for it, and you get sorted, is that that doesn't sound good? I had it, but is that fair enough for you, Mr. Homeowner? You know, so something along the lines where they're ending with that yes. They're used to start saying yes.
The soft close that Anthony did.
Yeah. And so, and that's and I started doing that, and it's like, God, yeah, okay, I got them saying yes. That's awesome. Okay, so when we move over to the proposal, you know, they're starting to say yes. That's a key. So
I love that, Jim. I love it. Sounds good.
Yeah, you keep refining and just make it sound natural.
Yeah,
Instead of
like
like
I said, I got it. I
Right.
just kind of scribbled down here.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, as soon as you just kind of make that kind of process natural, make it feel just like comfortable, like you're just talking to someone.
Yeah.
Like that's just making someone just feel like you're your friend.
Yeah.
You're gonna do really well with it for sure.
It is. It's a new process for me. I'm learning it. I'm going through it, and like I said, I think it's going to really help me a lot. You know.
But yeah, even at the beginning, like you're doing, even if you have to do a script at the very beginning, just so you can you just start to get in your mind, this is the process that I go through. Then as you have that process, it's easy to kind of just off the cuff go through things and just kind of make it feel more natural. But yeah, if you have to do
I like talking about them. So once we start the proposal, you know, it's like, you know, like this guy's talking about LA. We start talking about dogs. You know, hey, you know, how was your dog? You know, dogs and all that. You know, so how was your dog, or you know, how's your dog doing, or how's your kid doing, or you know, I love it because I always talk about my kid. You know, I'm 14 in high school. You know, so oh yeah, you know, so that 87 or 83-year-old lady I was telling you about, Anthony, it's like, you know, yeah, I went to Powur, she, you know, her kids went to Davis. And so we had a little, you know, connection like that. So trying to make a little bit of a connection is important to me right now. So
nice, good deal.
Well, awesome.
There he is. I can see Jeremy now.
There he is. Anthony, do you have any other comments, or anyone else have any other questions?
Well, yeah, if anyone else has questions, go ahead. I'm good.
I missed the first maybe 10 minutes. Did I miss anything?
No, I think we were just kind of chatting away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, it's exciting to kind of see, because you could tell that Curt has thought about this a lot and he's done a lot of time into it. And I love it. You really refined the process, because I remember when me and Bo first started, we had no idea what we were doing. We're both just kind of trying to figure it out. And then, yeah, you get in a rhythm and things like that. And then, so I just love what you're doing, Curt, with that. One thing that right now where I'm at, I just kind of get a few of the backup calls. Like I got like the 6 calls from Wooten when he was watching Batman, but I think I missed them all because I was presenting or something. But I want to say I think I've answered like 2 calls like in the last like maybe 10 days or so, just kind of as a backup. I think one for Daniel Wrights and one for Jim. But one thing that I tried, because I heard Bo, I forgot who said this about you know, the leads coming from Bo, is that once they got the phone, they could not get a hold of the bill. And so the 2 that I got, I made it a point for like what Curt was saying, to send me the bill while I'm on the phone. I'm literally on the phone, which, you know, they called a 1-800 number or whatever. They don't have our cell phone number. So I'm like, hey, do you get text messaging? Okay, I'm gonna shoot you a text real quick. Smiley face, thumbs up, high five, whatever, right? Did you get that text? Check your phone. Okay, cool. Can you go ahead and snap a photo of your bill and respond to my text message with a photo of your bill? Great. I think it was Wrights. No, Wooten's had no internet or had no text messaging. It was a regular phone. So I emailed him. Hey, what's your email then? Okay, I'm gonna shoot your email real quick. Shot him an email. Great. Can you respond to the email with a copy of your bill? Okay, great. And we got the bill, right? And then same thing with Wrights. That one, he had an email as well. He was a little not tech savvy with, or no, he did end up texting them to me. But yeah, so that's one thing that I started doing. You know, I haven't had too much practice recently on handling these calls. A lot of time too, Bo will catch me off guard. Like I won't even have the number saved or anything. And like, I thought it's just like, you know, car insurance calling me or something. Hello, what do you want? Hey, this is Solar America. And I got Jeremy on the line. I'm like, oh, hey, Jeremy, how are you? So,
yeah, you got
so,
a number. Made that mistake.
Yeah. No, there's like
Save the
6
number.
of them though.
Yeah,
There's like a Lodi one now. There's a 916 one now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what.
Because every person
yeah.
has to have a different number for it to work. So
So he puts me as the backup and he doesn't tell me, and now there's like random numbers calling me and I miss half of them. But like, you know, Jim's, I have that one saved and a few others I've saved, but yeah, Bo will catch me off guard. But yeah, but I haven't listened to Curt and his script. He's got it dialed in. I haven't had that much practice recently. So, but just the one thing that I have tried the last couple customers I did talk to was, yeah, I got a hold of that bill before I hung up, and it's possible. You just got to tell them or ask them. So, but Curt's script and what I do is very, very, it's different, but it ends the same. Right, it's the same ending. Pretty much, we're trying to get a bill and we're trying to get this, and for me to get you numbers, I need a copy of your bill. Go ahead and send that over. So yeah, it's really well done, Curt.
Yep.
So
Thanks.
the other thing I'm learning from experience is Dana kind of got on me on this one because on one of his leads, one-leggers. Cannot do one-leggers, and we've got to make it so important. If it's a couple, married couple, we got to have both of them there. So, and that's important to do that, because I did a one-legger and didn't even come close to selling it. So,
well, and you the conversation we had a couple of days ago too, the 87-year-old grandma that we may do a PPA or a prepaid or whatever. We want a daughter or a son there. We want a decision maker there, so we don't get a call from the Bear Cub a week later saying, you signed my mom up for what? And cancel the whole deal without even giving us the time of day. So we want to not just one-legged with married couples, but with older couple, or, you know, an older person. We want to make sure that
elderly.
You know,
let's speak
elderly, yeah. Older person, short person. No. Can't say midget. No.
Yeah.
I can't say,
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't say FNG anymore either too.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
and I guess. Oh, go ahead.
Just going on YouTube, he's going to get a what's it called, demonetized.
To Anthony's point, I actually lost skills because I didn't do that. So now if I'm talking to Steve, I always ask, so who helps you make your decisions, Miss Jones? And son, daughter, whoever, I'm like, okay, great. Can you give me their number? Because I want them to know exactly what's going on. And you know, I'll just call them and say, hey, look, your mom is looking into solar. You know, obviously she's enticed by the fact that, you know, the government is helping to subsidize, and, you know, she said she does pay federal taxes. And so she is going to be able to take advantage of that federal solar tax credit. And the type of person that I am, and I would want the same courtesy done to my mom or my grandmother. I just want to give you a call just to kind of let you know what we're doing, and to let you know that I'm setting an appointment up to do a Zoom call with her tomorrow. And I wanted to know, can you be there? So, you know, because sometimes when you hang up the phone, and I'm just more of a take charge type of individual, if you just tell them, hey, tell your daughter that I'm going to be calling you and we're going to be talking about solar, you know, again, everybody leads a busy life, even the seniors, if they're just kind of kick back chilling. And she might just forget. And then you're going to do that Zoom and you're going to say, okay, where's your daughter? Oh, my goodness, I forgot. I don't think she can make it anyway. And then you just have to reschedule it. So just try to get the number, because they will give it to you. because that person does help them make their decisions. And they actually feel good that you want to reach out to their son or daughter because they know that their son or daughter is going to chastise them if they make a decision and did not include them.
I have another quick comment on that too. Curt and Anthony, you guys can kind of maybe give some insight on this. At what point, because obviously you want to make sure they're both at that meeting, in your presentation meeting, right? So would you be doing this on the discovery call, or do you guys kind of do a pre-text or a pre-call before the meeting, say, hey, make sure your spouse is at this meeting, or this person, right? If it's an elderly person, make sure this person is at the meeting. Do you try to do that on that discovery call to make sure they're, make sure you let them know to make sure that they're there, or how do you guys handle that?
Absolutely. I try to do it on a discovery call. And so if the senior, if they're savvy and they can jump on Zoom, then I'll get the number to the son or daughter and I'll let them know, hey, I'm supposed to be on a Zoom call with your mom tomorrow at 6. Can you make it? And if they say, no, I can't make it and whatever, then I'll just reschedule it. Because if the senior or the mom or the dad or whatever, if they have more flexibility in their time, then they can probably do the next day after or whatever, if that's what the son or daughter says. But yeah, I almost always try to get as much done as possible on that first discovery call.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much whenever you're scheduling the appointment. So if you're unable to schedule the appointment, the initial call, which obviously we know is best, but 8 times out of 10 you will, then there's the 2 times out of 10. So you have that follow-up call or whatever. Then yeah, pretty much anytime you're scheduling the appointment, you want to make it clear that it's for decision makers. Be careful with saying husband or wife, because this day and age, someone can get offended. Yeah, so be careful.
I started
yelled at before.
I just say spouse and it's
spouse.
So that's, I agree with you guys. And that's, I guess, at that call when you're sitting, you're giving those times. Okay, does this time work for you, right? And you're scheduling that next appointment. At that point, I'm assuming it'd be a great opportunity to say, hey, would you just make sure your spouse is at that presentation with you?
No, we want a time where your spouse and any other decision makers are available. So I have Monday at 5 or Tuesday at 3. Which one works for you guys?
Perfect.
Yeah, so you want to make it stressed.
Yeah, I'll actually say it with the spouse when I said it. So for example, I'll say, okay, Anthony, what's a good time for you and your wife tomorrow? Or you and your spouse? I'll just automatically throw the spouse in there. So when they're thinking, what's a good time for us?
He picks up the kids. I get home at this time, probably about 6:30.
Yeah. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and make it 7, just in case she runs into some traffic. That way, I want to make sure that both you guys are there, because obviously, if you guys decide to go solar, this is a big decision. And I know that, and I hear this all the time. Hey, I'm the one who's interested. I'm the one who's looking into it. She don't have anything to do with it. But I know both of you use Powur, and I know both of you, are going to have questions about solar because it's just new. And to be honest, I would actually feel better if both you guys was there, even if your wife doesn't have any questions, because I've been doing this since 2015 and I've never met a spouse that did have a question about going solar. So if you can just have your wife there, I would feel better, just to make sure that I'm talking to both of you. And that's kind of how I leave it. Because you're going to have some people that say, she don't need to be here. She doesn't care. I pay all the bills anyway. She don't know what's going on. I still would push to get the spouse.
Great. What time would she be there?
And if they... Yeah. If they absolutely push back, then I'll go ahead and set it and just test them on this whole, I make all the decisions, I pay all the bill stuff. But yeah, always push for that spouse.
The other thing too, I've been getting their name almost right off the bat. And when I'm talking to, let's say if it's Jose, I get his, I talk to Jose and his wife's name. So I don't talk to just Jose. So if let's say her name's Mary. So Jose, you and Mary, use them as together. And then that way, when we start to close, okay, I need, you and Mary there, mainly the fact that she's also a primary user of the energy, of the electric. And, she may want to turn with this solar now, she could turn the thermostat down to 72. You may want to run at 75, but guess what? She could turn down 72. So she may want to, do this to do it, so something about along that line is the way I've been learning to do it lately. And it's just so much smoother. it's working really good. So
Nice. Good deal.
Perfect. Jeremy or JD, you guys have any questions?
Oh,
Uh,
I had to
no,
step
I
out
mean,
for, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I stepped out for a few minutes or a couple of minutes. Sorry, I got a client call. So I don't know if this was already discussed, but are we setting it up as an assistant for the mentor, or we're just setting it up as us without even saying anything? And they'll find out that there's a mentor.
you
that
mean
will
set
be
the
there.
appointment, or what do you?
So when we get the call, so are we setting it up as an appointment with the mentor?
Yes, yeah, you'll schedule the appointment with a mentor. But so you'll both be there. You'll be there, the homeowner will be there, and the mentor will be there to present it. So you're basically setting it up where you can learn and watch from the mentor to where he's gonna close it.
Right. So from there, then we're kind of introducing on the call that I'm setting this up along with the mentor. Like, do we introduce the mentor right ahead of, like during that call, or just say, I'm an assistant and the solar consultant. I'm just setting this up for the solar consultant who will be joining us for our meeting.
Yeah, I wouldn't even get into all of that. I would just set the appointment up, and the assumption from them is that they're going to be seeing you, and then on the appointment they'll see that it's two people there. And then just kind of go from there. So yes, I wouldn't be like, because you don't want people to make it more complicated in their head, because people will do that. Well, no, you don't have to have nobody else. I'll just talk to you. And then what do you do if they say that? And I have seen that before in these type of situations when it's like, yeah, me and my manager's going to come. Oh, no, you don't have to bring your manager. No. I just want to talk to you, because we don't even know if we want to do it, because people know that if more people are there, they feel like, oh, so they're bringing the pressure. I guess he's going to have his manager and they're going to try to close us, honey. Well, guess what? I'm saying no. I already know I'm not going to do it. So don't even give them a chance to make it more complicated. Just set the appointment. And then, when we jump on the Zoom, they'll just see that it's you and a mentor, and that, he's going to be the person, or she's going to be the person that's going to be going over the numbers and answering any questions. And, you're just, you're there.
Okay. So do we, so if we do not get, so we have to get the utility bill first before even setting, okay. I see you nodding, right?
So yes, and yes, you would want to have the utility bill, because obviously you need to design the proposal first, right? You can't do a presentation. So I'm trying to think it through, because obviously you want to set an appointment on that discovery call. Like, you want to do that, but if you can't get the utility bill on that first call, what I would do is still set the appointment, but don't schedule it with the mentor yet. Just because you don't want to book a whole bunch of stuff on the mentor's calendar and nothing's set yet, right? So I would still book it on for yourself if you can't get that bill yet, but follow up with them and say, hey, we have an appointment tomorrow. I need that before we have that appointment. Just stress that, and then just follow up with them as much as you can before that appointment. So then as soon as you get that bill, we need at least an hour before that appointment, so we can get that built and make sure they give enough notice to the mentor. But if they're not available, we can find another mentor available. But yeah, for one, I would definitely try to still schedule that appointment, but you definitely want that utility bill.
Okay, so you're saying that we just need an hour prior to the appointment, regardless of time. So as long as they send it in an hour before the meeting, it's a go.
Sometimes one of mine, it took a little longer, but I had an appointment today at 1 o'clock and I put it in at 10 and I had it by 11. So
I've gotten them back within 10 minutes before. So it can take a little bit longer depending on the complexity of the project. So if it's coming down to the wire, what you can do is jump on chat.powur, say, hey, we have an appointment scheduled at this time. Can you rush this proposal for me? A lot of times the support will go on there and they'll push it right through, and they can get it to you within 5-10 minutes. So if that's the case, you can try to push it along a little bit quicker. But yeah, essentially, if it comes down to that, you can. And if they're not, Anthony or Curt is in another appointment, they're not available, let me know and we can figure out another mentor that can help you out. Because I'm sure we have like Anthony said, we have a list of people that can help you. It's more important that you stick to that and get it closed.
Yeah, and a suggestion that I would make is tie them down to a time. So that way you don't have to worry about, just make sure I get it an hour before our appointment, because some people will wait to the last minute. So tie them down to a time. So I like to say stuff like, for example, let's say I'm talking to someone right now and they're like, well, dude, I don't have the bill. I don't even know where it's at. I'm like, great. As long as you get it to me tomorrow by lunch, we're good for our appointment by tomorrow evening. And if he's like, well, I'll be at work, I'm not going to be able to do it, whatever. I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, I have done this, is I'll say, okay, great. Would you have a few minutes during your lunch break? Because I can help you get the bill. Because I deal with XYZ, whatever the utility is, just say the name. I deal with Duke Energy all the time. And so we can actually get them on the phone and they'll just email me the bill and I can call you on your lunch break tomorrow. Would that work? And if he's like, yeah, just call me on my lunch break. Because again, these people are busy, and the worst thing we can do as consultants is totally and completely rely on them to get that bill, because sometimes they're looking for it, sometimes they're forgetting to look for it, and it's just a game of chase. Hey, have you gotten the bill yet? Have you gotten the bill yet? And sometimes it gets frustrating for them if they see that text every day, every other day, and then it's like, you know what? I think I'm just going to hold off on this. And I'll just get back with you, I guess, whenever I find the bill and I'm ready to do it. And so sometimes you just got to take the initiative and just tell them, hey, man, it's no problem. If you can't find the bill and you work long hours, let me just call you a lunch break. Can we stay on the phone for about 10 minutes and we can just get the utility company on the phone and they'll just send the bill right over. And I talk to them like I do that all the time. And I'll even say that sometime in conversation. Man, I do this for all my homeowners. It's no problem. I call them on their lunch break, we get the bill and it's done. And then when by the time you get off and we meet for our meeting, our appointment, shall I say, I'll be ready to go. So just keep in mind that that's a last resort, but it works. And if you can just get them on the phone, because here's the thing, even if it gets to the point where they're like, dude, my break's almost over, I gotta go. If you can at least get the utility representative on the phone, and you just tell them really quick, if you've never done it before, just say, hey, my name is XYZ person. I'm with Powur Solar. I have one of your customers on the line. He or she cannot find their bill. Can you pull that up and email that over? So-and-so, go ahead and give them your information, because I already know the routine. They're going to start asking them their name, what's the last four of your social, blah, blah, blah.
Questions, yeah.
As soon as they confirm that, they're going to say, okay, boom, what email address do you want us to send it to? And then that's when you can give your email address, they can send it over, and then you can move forward.
Said, I love it. Does that kind of answer your question, JD?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
And here, we have, here's a list of all our mentors and stuff too. So schedule appointment, we'll give it to one of these mentors.
Yep.
So is ever a stupid question, but should I have already logged in on this stuff already and started like the process, or like these calls coming in already, the CRM, whatever,
So what's your question? Do you need to log in already?
Yeah.
I mean, I would log in so that you can get familiar with it, but no leads have come through yet. No. So,
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
log in,
sure.
just gonna get familiar with it, so you understand what go through the training. Obviously that's really important. You guys, as soon as you talk to the person, while you're talking, as soon as you get done with them on your phone, log in through the app, or if you have a computer, log in real quick and just move them to the right stage, move them to they've been contacted, or you've got the bill, wherever they're at. Just make sure you keep that updated. Because again, like I said before, if you talk to them on the phone and you didn't move them over to that they have been contacted, you talked to them and they're just sitting in the new lead stage, they're going to get texts and emails saying, hey, we haven't talked yet. Let's schedule an appointment. And they're like, dude, I just talked to you an hour ago. Right.
Okay.
And they're going to get like, they can make you look like you're an idiot, right? Like, you don't want that, right? So you just want to make sure, okay, it's important to kind of make sure that just make that a habit. As soon as you talk to them, jump on the phone, takes like 2 minutes, move them over.
And also, Jeremy, there's notes on each customer, and every time I talk to the customer, I go in and I type what notes. Even if I call and there's no answer, called, no answer, left message. Just leave notes, so when you go back and talk to that customer, you have the reference of what's going on with that customer.
Yep.
You know.
I mean, you've already got your own leads, Jeremy, too. Like you said, you had like 10, 15, whatever they are. You're welcome to manually enter them into the system and track them and put them through the CRM. So like you don't have to, but it's, you're welcome to use that for your own leads too, if you want.
If you did that, would they get the same drip as well, or?
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be huge.
Oh,
And that's good to know, Bo.
Yeah.
I got some leads to put in there.
Do it. You're more than welcome to use it. They'll still
Yeah.
function the exact same way. So you enter the lead,
Okay.
and then you'll just create a deal for that lead. So you'll basically just creating the lead, and then you create a deal for that lead and just put them wherever at stage they're in within the CRM. And they'll receive the exact same drip follow-ups.
Because Jeremy has a handful that just aren't answering our calls or whatever. So it'd be nice to. They just
Yeah,
kinda
and
get
it's,
dripped on.
especially with you're busy, it's hard to stay on
Yeah.
top,
The next
especially once
2 to
you start
6
to getting
weeks or
to
whatever,
10,
yeah.
20, 30 leads. You're like, man, okay, well, where is this person in this line? Have I followed up with them within the last few days, right? It's hard to kind of stay on top of all that. So if you can automate it, obviously it's not a perfect world or they're going to get exact follow-ups, if you were doing it manually, but it's much better than you would not using it, right? So you
Plug
take
them in,
advantage
Jeremy.
of
Plug
it.
them in, brother.
Jeremy,
I
the
gotta
other
get
thing.
familiar with the data. I'm almost illiterate with computer stuff. I'm just, unless I'm looking
Get
crap
familiar with
up, I've got to get familiar with it. I know, but it almost stresses me out thinking about it.
Hey,
And I
Jeremy,
know it shouldn't.
if you have issues with it, give me a call, and we'll get on a Zoom and I'll run you through it.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it too.
It's
Yeah,
really
it does.
it's pretty simple. And the other thing too is a lot of the responses will go back to Bo, and he will send the responses back to you.
So
Yeah.
actually on that note, Jim, I just did a test run with some leads that I've sent to Andy. I've been able to set it up to where the text responses, I can actually have them automatically forwarded to you guys.
Okay.
You guys are going to start receiving just the automated or their responses to the text messages. I mean, obviously, ideally, it would be best if you guys could respond through that message, but there's no functionality anywhere that I can find. I've spent hours and hours trying to find something that will allow you guys to do that. But at least you guys will now automatically receive the response from them immediately. And it'll just go to your email.
We can't respond back to them. We got to use our manual. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. And you could just kind of even let them know, hey, this is a work number that we can't text from. I'm just going to coordinate with you on my responses through my personal number. But you're welcome to respond on either number and I'll get them.
Okay.
It's kind of how you can let them know.
All right. Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it. I actually.
When are the calls coming in? Or expected?
So Jim's has been started. We started at the beginning of the week for Jim. I did just a little bit for Dom. Yours and Jeremy's will start. I want to do this call first, but I'm hoping to get it start tomorrow. So let's see. Thursday, so either tomorrow or Friday.
Oh, okay. Will you email like excuse me, info on what number it'll show up and what to expect? Okay.
Yep. I'll shoot you an email with kind of what number it's going to come from and kind of a brief overview and email of how that all works.
When it comes in, it lights up.
Script?
When it comes up, it lights up everything, and then it'll actually go to your CRM. It goes to your email. I can't remember. It sends a text to you,
Text
a
message, yeah.
message to you. So you got everything right in front of you immediately. So
Does it include the call script? So we have an
No.
idea what they went over with. Okay.
Fortunately, there won't be a call script that you can see what happened. But I mean, if there's
No, I mean like a separate. Can you like just, or what is it? They just ask for, like we talked about this before, right? Like they just confirm that they live in a single home. If they're do they verify credit 650 and over?
You want a copy of my script?
Well, he's just referring to the call center script. Like how they, so basically all they're doing, so when they receive it, we receive a lead, the call center will call them. And basically all they're doing is verifying all the information that they've submitted to us is accurate. Their name, their email, their phone number, their average bill, their utility company, make sure they're the homeowner. We do verbally ask them if they're above a 650 credit score. There is no like actual soft credit or anything check. What we're trying to do is at least eliminate those people who know that they're below credit score. And we try not to send those through. It's not foolproof. Like I said, like some people don't know their credit. So we try to at least eliminate those so that it is verbally ask them if it's above 650 credit score. And then obviously we ask them if they're interested in receiving a solar quote.
Okay.
If they've kind of gone and checked all of those boxes, they are still interested. We say, hey, we have a solar rep that we can transfer to you. Or do you have time that we can transfer that lead over to you right now? If they say yes, they would then call you and they would transfer the lead directly over to you over the phone.
All right.
So they're given a bill too on the lead when they come in. They already have a bill submitted, or
No, we just ask the average bill. So what we're doing is through our form is they're obviously submitting, they're selecting, oh, it's $50 to $100. It's $100 to $150, right? So we're giving a range on the form. And so basically on that call, we're just saying, is your bill above $100 or $150, right? If they say yes, then it kind of gets pushed through based on what filters that we've set in place for these leads. So it's not an actual bill. We're just trying to eliminate bills or average bills that are below 100, right? Or $50 or something like that. So we're not getting people who wouldn't even qualify to begin with. That's the goal there.
Now keep in mind, guys, customers are liars, and one or two may squeeze through that.
Absolutely.
They have a $60 bill, 400 credit score, live in a triplex or something like that.
Exactly.
So
I don't believe you, Anthony. Every customer.
Yeah, dead honest.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about that if they're telling us information that isn't accurate.
Yep.
Or they in their mind, they think it's different than in reality what it really is.
No shade, right, Jim?
Yeah.
This customer is about to close that said no shade. I'm like, we may have some shade. He's like, no, I get sun all day.
Yeah.
Literally, you can't see the house from Google. You cannot see the house.
People are totally misconceived with shading all the time.
Yeah.
So that's a definitely a hard one. Like I have sun all day on my roof. Well, you don't see that huge tree that's covering your entire roof right there.
Yeah.
And,
Jim,
trees.
Jim was going to pitch Sonova on that one. And I'm like, no, you can't, because they have a power production guarantee. You can't pitch Sonova. You literally have to pitch it just like Good Leap and just say, hey, this is the price. Don't even talk about production, because there's not going to be any production.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might close. So.
Yeah, I really think he's going to close. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
Well, any other questions, guys? Let's keep everyone to long.
I talked to Anthony before this, and I'm really, I don't know. I just don't know the Sonova side or whatever. And Anthony, we talked, and he said there's a couple people that are really struggling with Sonova, even though I'm qualified or lead qualified. I just don't feel comfortable in proposing it right now. So Anthony says he may get on, not on our Tuesday night meeting, but maybe separate to go over the Sonova on how to do it. Like we were talking about this, like this pre-PPA or prepaid PPA, all that stuff. Because I didn't even think about talking to this lady. And as soon as he said it, I'm like, man, that makes total sense. So man, if you could do that, Anthony, that would be awesome.